Hi everyone, today in this video we're going on in our marathon talking about a lot of the diseases that people tend to suffer with, and in that video we're going to talk about another beast that is the aversion to loss. As any other type of beast, it can have impact in sometimes making us decisions that doesn't have a logical reasoning of basements, and that's something that sometimes we do not like because obviously the decisions are the biggest predictors of our outcomes, and have, if our decisions are not good, we have a tendency to as well not having the outcomes that we could not expect, and so doesn't having the life that we would obviously like to have, and then so always falling to some structure to having the more value getting added to you. It is understanding what is the beat that you're going to talk about, having real life examples to even be more illustrative, and as well so talk about when you're more susceptible and how try to fight it. And so let's gonna talk about the what is the description of this beast. In this video we dive into loss aversion, a powerful psychological beast that explains why we fear losing more than we enjoy gaining, and that's something that's true. Discover how these bees influence our decision in everyday life. So, loss aversion is a concept in behavioral economics that describes the tendency for people to prefer avoiding losses than acquiring equivalent gains. Simply put, the simply put is like the pain of losing something is psychological twice as powerful as the pleasure of gaining something of the equal value. So basically it's like you the how much value is to you gaining like 2,000 pounds uh, is needed like to you. Now how I would say it is like losing 2,000 pounds is twice much as powerful than gaining that same amount, or even saying it to see so clearly. Obviously it's a number that probably can be true, but as obviously a variance, it's like saying that you earning 2,000 pounds, it is so powerful as losing 1,000 pounds. So basically, yeah, I could say it's like saying the same way that it describes the same things, that losing a certain specific quantity is 2 times more powerful than losing that same amount, that gaining that same amount. So basically is that we give more valuable for the things that we lose than the things that we gain. This concept was first introduced by psychology as Daniel Kahneman and Ernst Tversky as a part of their perspective theory. So it's something that's studied and is proved by a science that is the economics. So what you have to understand is that is explained and is a theory, but is comproved in reality. So how you can do it to prove it to you. So imagine that you are at the store and you can see a jacket that you really like, priced at 100 pounds. You decide to buy it, but just after the purchase, you see the same jacket on sale for like just 70% of the price that you have like bought. So, and so if you have spent, imagine you have spent 100, you see so a jacket for sale in 70 at a different store. What are you gonna think that you have lost you have lost so 30 euros or 30 pounds that you have lost because you have opportunity. You will have like the opportunity if you have so go first for the shop that is selling at 70, but as you just have to go first to other one that was selling at more 30, so at 100, you have a feeling that you have lost 30, and so it feels worse than probably if you had encountered in while you're walking to 30 euros or 13 pounds in money. Did explain so perfectly what is the loss aversion. That's something that if you do this mental experiment, or if you had a specific type of experience prior in your lifetime, you have seen that something that you say that's It's 100% correct, and it not has to be with these quantities, but it neither has to be with uh, neither with money as much as probably if it's not its experience is not made with money, it's even more difficult to kind of so try to measure. But probably if you say that you would like to have to invoke what was the things that you got most marked in your life, probably what are you gonna do? Things that you have done as bad, things that had happened bad to you, things that you have lost, probably will still be more quicker to appear in your brain than things that had happened as bad. Another example, investment is something that happens a lot with our money. It's something that's it's even more clear that this heuristic happens. In investments, if you have a stock that has lost value, you might hold on for too long, hoping it will bounce back instead of selling it and cutting your losses. The fear of realizing a loss can be stronger than the desire to lock in a smaller gain elsewhere. That's something that happens a lot. Sometimes appears a type of investment that could be good if we so sell stock even with obviously not having profit, the opposite. And so investing in that, the fundamental, if we do analysis, what's the perspective of the growth of the company, the competition, the demand, all that stuff that matter in investments, and even with the potential to obviously not recovering non-profit and even having profit after all this type of experience of selling a stock that is not good to buy another one that's more so something that has higher probability to have so evaluation. I people remain in getting stuck in that stock that they have purchased because they don't want to realize the aversion, they don't realize the loss. They prefer to try to see what can happen in the future in if that first investment gonna so have a evaluation, then so is the opposite of what's happening now. And sometimes I don't have the fundamentals to believe that it is something that's going to happen, so the stock going to have valuation. It doesn't exist just because I'm not doing the process of selling it at non-profit to show other options, just because the only argument that I have is that I don't want to realize a loss. That's something that really have a higher version to do it. It's something that's natural to feel. Because what? Because why our brain has this type of tendency? Because it was raised in a era in our ancestors that we had a lot of scarcity, and we had a lot by having a lot of scarcity we kind of praise a lot the things that we have. And so things that I have and I lose, I praise so much because I know that the things are scarce. And so that's why I feel so attached with these things. And that's clear, people that have a lot, they don't give a shit about, they don't care about things that they lost in comparison with uh, someone that's poor, this losing a jacket of the same value. Obviously people in different conditions, they're gonna so price the specific thing different, because one is feeling more scarce than other one. And so in other ones, in someone that's feeling more scarcity, loss aversion is something that happens more. And so when you're more susceptible to loss aversion, mainly in financial decisions, so mainly with things that you really praise, and money is something that people praise a lot. It's one of the most important things that people see in their lives. And so whether it's investments, savings, or spending, we often make decisions based on avoiding potential losses. That's why some people, they don't like get to spend their money. They are someone that try to save. So even at the cost of missing out greater opportunities, we pretend and we prefer to not realize losses, even if it later on is like one step back to get two steps going further. We prefer to remain in the same in expecting so that specific investment gonna have a potential upside, and so gonna behave best than what is doing it, even if it doesn't exist logical talking any type of fundament that's so sustained that something different is going to happen in the future. Other things that happens that's loss aversion people tend to feel more is present in gambling and actions that so require risk taking. So loss aversion is one reason why people tend to chase losses in gambling when they have already lost money. They might continue gambling in attempt to win back what they have lost rather than cutting their losses. And that's something that happens a lot, expecting that just because I've lost so much, then the next one certainly I'm gonna earn, and so I'm always gonna sustaining in the behavior till so I recover what I have lost. But the reality is that if exists a cut, it will be something that's good, assuming the non-profit and expecting, and even seeing that non-profit increasing even more. So as well, obviously, so loss aversion is something that happens in the consumer behavior, and retailers often use loss aversion to their advantage. So as I said, a heuristic is not bad to exist, it's not something that general, depending if you're someone that is trying to enjoy these presents or not. And so retailers often losing aversion. For example, they might offer limited time only discount, making you feel like you're losing out if you don't make the purchase. So how to fight loss aversion? Reframe your thinking, focus on the potential gains rather than losses. For example, when investing, consider the potential ROI then rather than obsessing over what you have already lost. That's something that's good. Set rational limits, set a clear stop loss. That's something that's really important. Point for yourself in investment. So set clear stop losses points are good, not just for investment. It can be as well done in your life, can be done when you're gonna gamble. You're gonna have to enjoy if you feel that gambling is something that you feel joy doing it. Define stop loss point in something that is so useful to not get stung with the enormity of losses. So by deciding in advance that you will sell an asset if it drops below a certain price, you take the emotional aspect out of the decision. Accept small losses to avoid bigger ones. It's like one of the best type of things that you can take from it. And think in probabilities, not certainties. Understand that losses are a part of taking risks, and they don't necessarily define your overall success. Instead of focusing on avoiding losses at all costs, look at overall probabilities and the potential long-term benefits of taking some decisions that they can assume losses in the short term but can also be contributors to gain in long term. So I expect this video had helped you to be more clear about the life, to be someone that's more reasonable, and I expect you as well to help me by subscribing and seeing whole other videos that talks about other type of concepts that are as well useful for you. So see you in the next one.